After being arrested during a firm brawl, a man is given 6 weeks to turn his life around and save his marriage. Film fans YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, the Movie Apprentice, and today I am going to be looking at Marching Powder, and starring Danny Dyer and Stephanie Leonidas. This is a film that is fully British, and the marketing campaign has been thoroughly entertaining. Danny Dyer has pulled out all the stops to make people go watch this movie, and I will say that it is a charming enough movie. Now, I will say though that this is a film that is held back by one major thing, and that is the fact that the characters finish where they start. There is no real character growth from the film's runtime. There are times where it hints that the characters are going to grow as people. By the end of it all, they are effectively the same person they were before, just with a new flavor to them. And that, for me, makes it feel like the film was a bit of a waste of time. It's kind of those deals where you're playing a video game, you pick your favorite character, you like this character, and that character could grow, but all you do is add a new skin to them to paint them in a new light, but they're very much still the same person. That's the best analogy I can think of when it comes to these characters. We have this burnout character who spent his whole life drinking, doing cocaine, getting into fights for the football in the lower leagues, whilst his wife looks after the kids at home after giving up their dream of going to arts college when they were younger. And outside of her going back to arts college to try and rediscover a bit of themselves, and this lead character trying to change, but it feels like it doesn't take much for this character to relapse into their old ways, and it does get quite repetitive. They will meet their mates, they'll say they're staying sober, that will work one time, then the next time something will happen and they immediately accept the cocaine or they accept the drink. There's a new character introduced that is a bit of a wild card that does the same thing twice, and it repeats the same story beat twice, and it does lead to an interesting bit of payoff. But when it comes to that particular character, there are several moments where it tries to elicit an emotional response. We see this character has not done anything to feel empathetic throughout the film's runtime, yet out of nowhere, they'll give us something to emphasize with this character. And that, for me, wasn't the greatest part of the film. Like, do not get me wrong, this film has its entertaining moments. The comedy is very funny, and I do love how it pokes fun at the kind of people that will be very up themselves and claim to be very progressive while doing very problematic things. Like, there's a part where an art student is talking about a painting and describing immigration, just looking at the only colored individual in the room, as if alluding to assuming that they were immigrating and having to come over in a boat, and that person had to shut them down, like, in a very funny way. Like, when it did those moments, that calls out some of these progressive individuals that just do it for clout. That is something that I really enjoyed, though it does feel like the film had a bit of a muddied path. It had a concept of this burnout individual who's in his mid-40s trying to stay out of jail and save his marriage, but it doesn't feel like there's any growth on this character. Even when we get to the ending and the resolution, it feels like they are forgiven for just not changing, and that, for me, failed to really connect. I do get it's a comedy, and it's supposed to be a blunt comedy. Like, Stephanie Leonidas is a great co-star in this. I loved it every time she was on screen. Like, she was very no-nonsense. I just feel like Marching Powder had its funny moments. It is exactly what it says on the tin. Like, the trailer doesn't promise any more than what it gives. So for that, I have to say it met the minimum expectations, but it just felt like because there was no real growth from start to finish, and the characters we're supposed to sympathize with don't really give us too much of a reason to be too sympathetic, that for me was something that really held this film back. Before I get into my grade, if you like seeing our channel, click that like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. But without further ado, let's grade this one. So yeah, a bit of a short review this one, but there's not really a whole lot to say about Marching Powder. Danny Dyer and Stephanie Leonidas are great in their roles. I enjoy the comedy moments. I loved how they poked fun at both sides of the fence when it comes to political and social standpoints. But the fact that there was a real lack of character growth and arc, and the plot got very repetitive at times, that for me is something that really dragged it down for me. It's really the performances and the comedy that stopped us from being lower than the middle grade for me because there is just very little to really latch on to emotionally in this. But if you're looking for a good laugh that pokes fun at hooliganism and just kind of laugh with your boys in the pub, then you're going to get some enjoyment out of it. It's not a completely unenjoyable film. I had fun with it, but it just doesn't do anything more to write home about outside of the basic premise. I'm going to say that for me, Marching Powder is an okay cup of tea. So, Marching Powder, have you seen it? Have let me thought down in the comments below. What is your favorite movie that features this kind of individual, the kind of football hooliganism character that gets to go out drinking? I personally always love Green Street, but that feels like it's an obvious answer. If there's any others, do let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, everybody, I am Josh. I have been Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.